Okay, yeah. Thank you for the confirmation. Right, so what do we do today? Today, we are going to take up now the classes and objects. So now we are totally in the advanced sections. We have done with the basics. Today, we will take up these topics: classes and objects, attributes and methods, inheritance, private and public variables and methods. Okay. Before I start, I had told you a few assignments. Yes, Aman, tomorrow is the last lecture. Okay, so what were the assignments that I told you? I had said for you to check out and come up with a program on how to write a program with open keyword and then use the tell method. I had shown you the tell method, but I had told you to also write out a small piece of code on your own using the tell. Also assert keyword and exception handling of assert with a specific use case. Finally, I had asked you to go through JSON objects and how do you work with JSON in Python. Have you done any of these? See, not everything is possible to be taken up in the class given the time constraints, but I have been giving you the wide direction so that you know that what are the other topics you need to pick up on your own. The screen is visible. I'm sharing it. Should be able to see it unless and until there's a network issue on your side. Yes, you did any of these 4 assignments? Okay, very good. Okay, Manjunatha, good. Program to use. Good, very good, Manjunatha. Okay, so I will paste what Manjunath has written. So Manjunath has given me this piece of code that he has written. Let me see. Let me paste it. Anybody who has written anything with the width open? Have you written the width open? Remember, you have a use case coming tomorrow wherein you will need few things, at least the JSON. Yeah. Let me quickly show you. I have to copy it actually from the chat box, and that's why I am having some issues here. But let me show you what he has written, and very good. What assert means, I'm showing you. Assert is a keyword. What keyword? It actually asserts that a certain condition is met. In this case, we are asserting that the age entered is always greater than 0. If this condition is violated, then an error is raised, exception error called assertion error. Okay, so let me run it. Enter your age. Suppose I give it -10. Then this message is raised. Age should be positive. Actually, Manjunatha, you don't need to give this piece of code except value error, because here anyway with the positive statement, assert positive, you're already taking care of this scenario. Okay, you can give a generic except statement. Okay. Yeah, good, Sanjeevni. But Sanjeevni, you need to put the colons and on properly. So I'm pasting this code here for everybody's reference in the DM, and request to Amar is to share this with anybody who might have joined through YouTube. Okay, with open, you do like this actually. With open, whatever. Suppose my file name something. Say abc.txt in read mode as fp. You say print fp.read. So basically the same thing that we do, fp equals to open, so and so, then read, then close. Instead of that, we can do with just one line over here with open, so and so, print fp.read. Okay, this is how you use the with and open combination to open a file and do file editing. I hope I have been able to drive the concept to you clearly. Okay, quickly 5 more minutes before we start off with the topics for today. Any doubts, any questions? Any questions? Okay, so in case you don't have any questions, okay, in case you don't have any questions, then let us go ahead. Amar, anything from the YouTube side? Any questions? Can you please paste here? Yeah, so Vigneshwar, please go through the sessions of 14th April. You will understand what is this fp.read. I think you probably have missed the session. It is a file read operation. And somebody asked me, what is, yes, okay, Wish, it is, why is it not printed? Because I've entered a wrong age, so it is not printed. So instead of executing the print statement, the loop is broken and it goes into the except assertion error block. Got it? Why are we using assert? We are using assert to assert that a certain condition is enforced. Assert is a keyword which asserts that a particular condition is met. Okay, Jayant? Okay, yeah. Fair enough. So in case you don't have any further questions, assertion means, Rishali, assertion error itself is an error. Okay, Ajay, in IDLE it is not possible. But in other IDEs, Ajay is asking how to clear code in Python. So one way to clear is, can you tell me how one way to clear? Can you write a small piece of code which will clear off this code here? At least it will push down like this, few, say 20, 30 spaces so that this becomes a white space. Okay, os.system clear. Does it work with IDLE? Let me see if it works. No, it doesn't. It works with the command prompt. So can you write a small piece of code which will actually populate at least 20, 30 new lines so that this old code, etc., that is written will not be visible anymore? Using a for loop, while loop, whatever. Can you write something quickly? Okay, I will have a recap of the last class, definitely. But can you please take this? I'm giving you 5 minutes to think through and write. Do you understand my query? Are all of you getting what I'm asking? I'm putting it over here. Please write a small code to clear off my IDLE screen. Hint, you can write a loop to populate with a lot of new lines. I've given you a hint also. Okay. Okay. Yes, so various ways of doing it. One quick way is actually you can write a loop for I in range, say 100 or 10, something like this. I'm just print /n. Okay, something like this. So some of you are saying something like this, print /n into 10. This also should work. Okay. So yeah, there are various ways of doing it. Correct. Good. So last class, quick recap. Last class, these are the topics that we covered. We covered namespaces. Then we went to the concept of modules, and we understood how import commands are used in conjunction with modules to use various modules in my working code. We learned about the pip command. We studied about packages. We understood them theoretically, and we also saw how to create packages. We used the locating modules. We saw how we can locate modules by check out the environment variables. What? First is that, what is the current working directory? This is the first place where the modules or any files are checked for that matter. Then in the environment variable, which is a user-defined variable called Python underscore path in the variable section. Or finally, if in none of these places it finds it, the module or the file, then the interpreter looks at the path variable. Okay. OS module. OS module is a module which is used by Python to interact with the operating systems. Various utilities like getting the current working directory, checking the changing the current working directory, creating a directory, deleting a directory, etc., or even deleting a file can be done using this OS module. The OS module has to be imported by using the command import -os, and then the various functionalities that are exposed by this module can be checked out. Okay. File handling, we understood how file handling works. We understood in the case that we saw how files are opened by using the inbuilt function open. We saw that the file is opened with some mode like read or write or read plus write or append plus read, etc. We saw that after opening the file in a particular mode that we have specified, how do we read from the file, how do we write into the file, how do we append the file, right? We also saw after that, we had a quick glance into what are the various file operations that we can do, like checking where the file cursor is by using the tell method. We can move the cursor back to the beginning of a file by using the seek method. We can also check whether the file is open or closed, or what is the current file that is open or closed, right? So we did all these things. Finally, we looked at the exception handling methodologies. We understood that exceptions are basically errors which cause the sudden termination of the code, and exception handling is a graceful way of handling such errors. We understood that exceptions are all of them. They are children or derived classes from a parent class known as exception, E capital exception, right? Then we understood that we can do exception handling by using the try and except classes. Okay, clear till this point? Somebody who asked me, admin. Okay, admin, have you understood? Okay, good. In case you have understood, then we make our foray into classes and objects. Yes. So quick recap. We have been through this before. Sorry. Please tell me what is a class and what is an object. What is a class and what is an object? Okay. Class is a prototype to create an object. Good. Okay. Class is a blueprint. Good. No, class doesn't mean combination of objects. Ajay, a class is a blueprint. Correct. Class is used to describe method. No, Akansha, not exactly. Class is a blueprint. Correct, Manjunatha. Object is an instance of a class. Right, Revati? Object is a real world entity. Yes, Siri, object is an instance of a class and class is a blueprint for another. Right. So we have had this discussion multiple times. Today we will see, so directly we will go to how to create classes and how we define the attributes of a class, how we define the attributes of an object, what are the various methods, etc. Yeah, right, Shweta, methods. I think, Shweta, you also had a doubt about functions and methods. So maybe here we will be able to clear it off, clarify it. So you see this over here, this is a class, simply called class shark, and there are two functions within it. So it says swim and be awesome. So what it means is that it's a blueprint for creating a object called shark, right? I'm saying that whenever this object called shark is created, the shark will be able to swim. And the shark can also swim not only forwards but backwards. Create, right? You understand? So the blueprint, it says when actually shark is born, what all can the shark do? Methods or functionalities associated with the shark. Do you see now? Okay. So I am creating the class. Now you need to work on this along with me. Once this is done, now you see I'm creating a real world object called Sammy. See, then I give shark, then braces like this. Opening brace and closing brace. So Sammy equals to shark. Vicky equals to shark. Okay, now see what is Sammy? It is main.shark. So it's an object of type shark method of type shark class present within the main namespace. Now, how do I call a method? As you know, you have used the list method, string method. So you know now, just you need to give the object name and then dot, then swim. Similarly, the object name, then dot be awesome. Got it? So you need to start working on this. Come on, type out the class and object. You have the same thing over here in your part 4, classes and objects. You can start from here, page number 6 of the slide deck. Today you will have to do a lot of typing. So please attune yourself like that. Over. Have you compiled the code? Okay, is my voice coming? The voice clear? Farheen is telling me my voice is not coming. Okay. Farheen, maybe there's a just check out. You said the network bandwidth. Maybe if there's a drop in your bandwidth, you'll have an issue. Are you joining from a mobile? Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Most of you are saying it's audible, it's clear. Thanks for confirming. Done. So if you have finished it, any difficulty in getting this done? So the next thing we will understand is okay. So we will understand a concept called as bound and unbound method calls. So we see we have to first create the class. Then after creating the class, we create the object out of the class. And then we call the methods for the particular object, right? So the method is associated with the object here, correct? Get this in your mind, please. I need you to be absolutely clear. We are calling the methods for a particular object. It's like this, the car can accelerate. All that in theory is fine when you blueprint. But when actually you create the car, when the car is really created and you can drive it, then only you can press the accelerator and the car accelerates. Got it? So methods are called for an object. So there are two ways of calling a method. One is the bound method call, as I showed you right now over here. Bound method call, as I showed you, by giving the object name, then dot, then the method name. Another way is called as unbound method call. In unbound method call, we don't use object dot method. We say class dot method name, and to the method we pass the parameter called the object. If you see here, here is a class called class B, which has got two methods here, first and second. Also, I'm saying that this class, in this parenthesis, I write the keyword object over here. So once this is done, once I create the class, then out of this class B, I create an object called Python. Then what do? I say B dot first. So I'm not calling Python dot first. I'm calling B dot first, and then I'm passing to it the keyword Python. What does that mean? I'm saying that call this class, call this method of the class B for the object Python. Call this method second for the class of the class B for the method Python. Do you understand it? This is known as the unbound method call. Now, can you tell me why do I need to use this self over and over again? This self keyword. Any idea why do I use it? Do you have a doubt on it? Have you noticed it? Okay, what you do quickly one thing. This class that you have created, Shark, in this class, from the method swim and be awesome, just remove the keyword self. Then compile the class, create the object, and then try calling the method swim and be awesome. Try and tell me what is the output. Are you trying it? Do you notice something? What happens if you remove the self and then create the class, call the object? Can you please increase font size? Okay, sure. I will increase the font size. Is it better? Amar, can you please check?
Yes, it's better.
Okay. 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 Vignesh says invalid syntax. Okay, let me see what happens if I remove it here. Swim. Let me remove for only one. I create the method swim with the self keyword. Now I have compiled the class. I'm creating the object Sammy. And let me see what does Sammy.swim give me. So I get an error. What is the error? I get a type error saying swim takes 0 positional arguments, but 1 was given. So in essence, what error I'm getting is that this swim method ideally has no input parameter defined, but some parameter is being passed to it while invoking this method. Can you tell me what parameter is being passed to it? What parameter is being passed? So the error is telling me that, hey, you told me when you created this method, you said that there won't be any input parameter. But when you're calling this method, you're trying to pass some parameter to it. How can that happen? It is shell-shocked. Good, Harsh. Harsh has said Sami. Also, I think Revati says self is argument. It represents the instance of a class. Good. So what is happening? Actually, you see, remember it this way. The method swim is being called for the object Sami itself. Remember this word, itself. Okay, so in the parameter here, self. So when I'm calling the method swim, Sami, object Sami is being passed, invoked, so that the function or the method, now you see the difference between a function and a method. Method is called from within a foreign object. Function is something that is just loose. Although in Python, there's not much difference. Everything is a class and objects. Even inbuilt functions are actually methods. Okay. So this was the important concept. Clear till here? Okay, Tushar, self means I am passing the object itself while calling the method. So this method is being called for the particular object Sammy. Okay, it is implementing swimming functionality for the object Sammy and not for anybody else. This is all that is there to it. Okay, next topic is initializing the attributes of the class Shark. So what is an attribute? Let's quickly look at the theory behind an attribute. So here in this slide, if I can show you, I have shown you something. Can you tell me what are these? What is this first one? This color, good. This one, next picture. This age. Third one. Height, very good. Fourth one. Weight, very good. Right. So what are these? These are all attributes that define us. See, there is something called as color, but till there is a real world object, does it have a color? No, Kausar, that's not time, although it looks like that. It's weight. Look at it, kg. Okay. We all have a certain weight. We all have certain heights. See, height, by logic, it is there. But till there is an actual human, will there be height? Okay. So this is what is the difference between a class and an object. Class, theoretically, you have to define, say that this particular, when an object is created out of this class, it will have these various properties like color, height, weight, etc. So now let's look at how attributes are defined in a class. So in this class Shark, now we will introduce an attribute called as name. So this Shark will have a particular name. So now we create another method called as init underscore init underscore. This method is also known as a constructor method. Okay, constructor method. See, now I am passing two attribute parameters as self comma name. Then I'm saying self dot name equals to name. So you see the self. Self means over here I'm saying for this, when this object is created out of it, of this class, it will have a name attribute. And how do you initialize it? You have to pass this name here when creating the object itself. Okay. Now I'm creating the object Sammy, and see I'm passing a name to it now, Jay. Like I can access a method by using Sammy.method. I can also access the attribute of a particular object. In this case, let me see what is the attribute of the object Sammy, the attribute being name. Okay. Then what I'm doing, I am also creating a Shark. Next step is that I'm adding another attribute here called color. And then from the swim methods and the be awesome method, I am also calling the attribute. Now you see that I have used a very old format, typecast of formatted string. percentage is, percentage is. This used to happen before. You don't need to follow it. You can use the F. Okay. It's an old format that I've used. You can follow the string formatting operator. Now from the swim method and the be awesome method, I'm calling the attributes, color and name to be printed. So you see, once the initialization is done, I can use these methods, use these attributes from within the methods also. So they are now global attributes. Okay. Come on, let's do this quickly. You create it. You modify your class, please, to include two attributes now by set up the constructor method init, and in the init method, inside it, you initialize the attributes name and color. Then in the swim method and the be awesome method, you access these two attributes. Done, everybody? Have you modified? Are you trying this program? You need to try this out. Otherwise, you will not be confident with classes and objects. I'm giving you 2 more minutes to finish this. I understand because you have to type in quite a lot. So take 2 more minutes, please. Finish it off. Amrita, this is an old statement using percentage. It means percentage S means it's a string. So just forget it. Use the normal F. Okay. Now, there are certain inbuilt functions which help you to get some idea about the attributes. What are the some idea? You can check whether a particular attribute is there or not for an object. You can check what is the attribute value, and you can in fact modify the attribute value, or if the attribute you have already not initialized it, you can set it up. So these objects, these inbuilt functions are known as get attr, set attr, and has attr, get attr, has attr, set attr. Okay. For example, I want to check for the object Sami, what is the attribute name value? What is the value of the attribute name? Okay, so I use get attr and then I say Sami, comma name. Now you see this name attribute has to be given in quotes. Next, I want to confirm if the attribute if the object Sami has an attribute called color, yes or no, boolean true or false. So I use the function has attribute, has attr, and pass the object name and the corresponding attribute. Suppose now the color of Sami is white. I want to set it to black. I want to modify the attribute. I can use the set attr method and check it again, get attr. Bonus, one more attribute method, function that is there is known as del attr, or delete this attribute. Delete attribute color for only the object Sami, del attr. Got it? Okay. Yeah, so try out these 4 methods quickly, not methods, inbuilt functions. Quickly, this shouldn't take your time. Okay, so we have 3 more minutes till we take a break. Quickly finish this off. Yeah, scroll up till here. Aishwarya, which program are you speaking of? Okay, fine. Okay, so it's 7. Let's take a quick break. Uh, I will give you a 10 minutes break, 5 minutes to stretch out yourselves, and 5 more minutes to absorb all these things that I told you now and that you also worked on. Because classes and objects, for quite a few of you here, this might be a first time experience. Understand the logic behind it, understand the theory behind it, understand the thought process behind it. Okay. So once we are back, we will have a quick meme peek, and then we will start with the class. Yeah. So I am back, okay, a minute early. 1 minute for any questions you might be having. Yeah, Mahita, good evening. Thank you. Pragati, your screen is not appearing. Please do check it. Is it okay now, Pragati? Okay. Yeah. So any questions? Okay. All of you are very silent today. I hope everything's okay. Yeah, so as I promised, I have a meme for you today. So I found something interesting related to classes and objects. We said methods, functions within an object. Again, Shweta, to clarify your doubt, functions within an object is a method. Now look at this. This is a method. Can you tell me it's a method, correct? What method is this? Yeah. What method is this? Come on, guys. Look at it. Tell me clearly. Coffee, Java. Okay. Coffee making. Right. So this is an object from which it has a method to make coffee. And she pushes something, she hits something, and she gets coffee. Okay, I haven't come till encapsulation till now. Let me show you this one. Instance, what we define? Any object. When a class is created out of an object, it is called instantiation. See, all of these are instances of a computer. Okay, so they're saying each desk sponge, sorry, it's a desk sponge, I'm sorry. Any desk sponge shown here would be the instance of a class. What class? It is known as SpongeBob class. Okay, SpongeBob. I think this used to be a cartoon series. Maybe somebody can tell me. I think SpongeBob used to be some sort of a cartoon animation. Yeah, Gauri says yes. Thanks, Gauri, for confirming. Okay, Harsh says SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay. By the way, I haven't seen this anytime. When I was growing up, we used to have He-Man. He-Man was very popular then. I don't know how many of you, I believe, okay, maybe those of you who are in our age group, the 80s and all, you would have seen it. Those who have been born later, say 90s or the millennials, you probably have not watched He-Man. one more, let me show you one more. Okay. So an object is a data formatted to represent a real world object that has a state and behavior. Yeah, so this is one more thing. Here's my desired state, make it so. So that means set my state to something. See attribute again, state. Huh? Yeah, that's it. I think I will stop here. Although I had a few more memes. Maybe once we go into encapsulation, I will show you one more. Okay, Vrushali says at the time of calling, not compulsory to take self-word, and at the time of function definition, compulsory takes. Vrushali, if you don't give the self keyword, you won't be able to access the method for the object. Just remember this. Okay. Okay, now next topic, what I will show you quickly is known as a class attribute. We have seen an object attribute till now, right? Like name, color, etc., etc. Now, to the class that you've created before the init method, you can create two attributes like this, say location and animal type. Now, these attributes are known as class attributes. Why? Because these attributes will be common to every object. Okay, they are common to every object. Why? Because a shark, any shark that is there, white, black, or with any name, they always live in an ocean and they are fishes. So to commonalize it, to make it common, we introduce two class attributes called location and animal type. And every object created out of this class shark will have these two attributes definitely without even you setting it. To give you an example over here, Sammy, which was created out of this shark class, had as its location ocean and name as Jay again, and animal type also would have been there. Got it? So class is present for all objects once you define it. Attribute is not the same as variable in C language. It's very different. It's a property of a object defined inside a class or a property of a class itself. So location is generic to all sharks. That is why I have defined it inside the class. Now quickly, a few more things which we will see about classes is that, okay, few more important built-in class attributes. Built-in class attributes, what are they? Anytime you create a class, whether you define them or not, these attributes are automatically created by Python. What are these attributes? They're dict, doc, name, module, and basis. Okay. Dict means it's a dictionary giving you at a glance all the details of the class. Doc is the class documentation string. Name is the class name or the namespace. Module is the module within which the class has been defined. So let me show you. Let me create this class quickly over here. Please don't raise your hands here. If you have a question for me, please put it inside your DM. So I create this class quickly over here. So what am I saying is, so this tells me that the class that I've created now, what are the important attributes or properties of this class. It says that I've created this class within the main module, not in some other module. It's in the main namespace. It has got functions, two functions, swim and be awesome at this and this memory location. And this, again, it is saying it has got a dict attribute. There's a weak reference, doesn't matter what is the weak reference, you can forget. Sorry. Okay, apart from that, what is there? You know the namespace over here. What is the name? Namespace of the shark class. It is shark, as was expected. Okay. Doc. What is this doc? This doc means class documentation. Suppose before creating the class, compiling it at the top, I write some details about it. Class for creating a shark. It is a class documentation. Tells what does this class represent? What does it do? Then I could have retrieved it to understand more about this class. Yes, so there we are. Doc. Then what? Then what? Yeah, I think I've told you all that. Basis. Basis, if the class is a inherited class, means it is a child or something, the next topic, then the parent classes would be shown. So there's no base here because it itself is the parent class. Okay. So clear till this point? Any doubts, any questions? So quickly, all comments to be shown in doc, correct. All the details of the class, write it in the document string. The dict part, okay, 21. Guys, please change your name, no? Put proper names. How do I call you with your code names and mobile names? Yeah, please put in your proper names. You should always call each other by your names properly. Okay, that's a very effective art of communication. Yeah, please change your names properly. So dict means basically it's a dictionary. You see, there are keys and variables, values over here. What are the keys? Some important feature of this class, like what module has this class been created inside? What is its function names or methods? And where is this function located? Okay. So things like this are shown inside the dict attribute. It's a dictionary. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Divya. So you get it now? Please try it. Okay, please, the class, for whatever class you have created, use this dict attribute and check all the nitty-gritties of your class. Create a doc string and check the doc. Okay, see, these are important for you to understand. These are the foundations of classes and objects. I'm giving you 2 minutes to try these out. Okay, fine. Did you do it? Did you try out? Did you work with the 4 inbuilt functions also? Get attribute, set attribute, has attribute, delete attribute. Okay, good. Now, next topic that we come to is known as inheritance, a very important topic. Inheritance is basically a very important, powerful methodology by which code overhead is reduced. That means you can reuse code from somewhere else without having to write the same things again. Okay. So inheritance is like what happens in your human world. Suppose a father and son, or a mother and son, or mother and daughter. The daughter or the son inherits certain features, properties, looks, etc. from the mother or the father. Correct? Similarly, suppose there is a situation like burger. Okay. A burger, suppose generic class, which will have some sort of fillers within it, and between two breads. In India, we call it as vada pav, actually. The Americans invented it, but we have the concept of vada pav from far back, right? So suppose let's take the example of vada pav. Why burgers and all? Vada pav, huh? So in vada pav, the basic thing is the vada tucked between the pav along with the mint chutney. So nowadays, we have got many other flavors coming in. Na? Can you tell me a few flavors of vada pav? Any vada pav fanatics here? Those who love vada pav? Any new flavors that are there? Cheese vada pav. Okay. Cheese burst vada pav. Cabbage. No, cabbage leaves, vegetables, these are there. Okay. Okay, chalo, I will take that also. But I'm saying the flavors. Cheese grilled vada pav. Okay. Cheese vada pav. Any other flavor? Chocolate vada pav. That also is there. Wo bhi aa gaya. Arey baap. Who's done that? Who's done that massacre? Okay. Jumbo vada pav. Chicken vada pav. Okay. Paneer vada pav. Now you see all of it. Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot. I have seen in food vlog. Yeah, maybe. Correct, Jayant. Nowadays, people are doing a lot of things. Here we get somebody created what? Idli, chocolate idli. Okay, mayonnaise vada pav, mutton vada pav. Re baapre. Gulab jamun vada pav. Tell me, batao. Okay, so see, the base is the vada pav, right? So a person is creating all these flavors. Once the vada pav is ready, that person can put in different flavors like cheese burst, and say chicken or paneer, right? So you see, if the base class, that means is vada pav, and the inherited class is what? Can you tell me what will be the inherited class? Omelette vada pav, correct. Derived class, right. So all the other vada pav flavors that are done, so on the base, the is created, right? The derivation is created, correct? So therein is the concept of a parent and a child. So the vada pav class is parent, and what is the child class? It can be any of these flavors that all of you were telling till now. Yeah, right, Rajesh. Having enhanced features. Rajesh is saying enhanced features. Venkatesh is saying direct class. Yes, correct. Vigneshwar, it's not exactly like trees in C. Okay. Trees and all, these are like data structures. This is a very different concept altogether. So because the child class inherits from the parent class, you actually don't need to reuse much of the code that was written for the parent class. You can just inherit it and start working on the old code. So this causes reduction, decrease in redundancy. Now let us see how inheritance is instantiated, or inheritance is what implemented in Python. So now I am creating another class now. Look at this carefully. It's called as fish. Fish has got two methods, swim and swim backwards. It has got a constructor method, and it has got these attributes: first name, last name, skeleton, and eyelids. I'm setting the attributes by default for last name, skeleton, and eyelids. Clear? Okay. So all of these, now I create the class fish. Next, see, I am creating another class called goldfish. And within that brackets, do you see I'm putting the fish class over here? This means that the goldfish class is going to inherit from the fish class. And then I'm saying something called pass. Can you tell me what all will the goldfish inherit? What all things, attributes, and methods will the goldfish inherit? Same like fish. Correct. Right, Rajesh. Same like fish means it will get yes, Sanjeevani. All the features of fish. Got it? So let's now look at it. So class, I'm creating the goldfish class. Out of the goldfish class, I'm creating an object, goldfish object with the name Cassie. And to it, I'm passing a first name and also maybe a last name. And now if you see, I invoke the swim method for Cassie. See, the first name is called. I invoke the swim backwards method also. So all is that I've done is I've in toto inherited the properties of the fish in the goldfish. Okay. So now that you have understood it, quickly please create off the class fish and the child class goldfish. Then you can actually verify by using this basis object for goldfish whether fish is its parent. Don't raise your hand, dears. Please put it in the DM. I'm giving you 5 minutes. It's a bit of typing that is there. 5 minutes won't be necessary. 3 to 4 minutes. My notebook is not visible because I've removed it. Yeah, I understand your problem. Please go ahead. It's over here now. Okay, done. Have you finished? Do you need a few minutes more to finish it? But I need you to type out this program and run it. Should I proceed? Are you comfortable till this point? There's not much difference. They're both methods. Constructor just initializes the attributes of the object. Correct. MS Nanda, goldfish has the attributes which I've given to fish. Correct. Attributes as well as methods. Is anybody who is struggling with running this code of the parent class and the base child class? Okay. Next, we will see. Now, what we will see is known as overriding the methods and properties. Okay, so let me just see. So what am I going to do? Now, from the base class fish, I'm going to create a child class shark, which inherits from fish. However, this class will have its own attributes, which will be different from the base class fish. And also, the swim backwards method, although having the same name, will have a very different output from the base class fish. So what is the change here? See, in the case of the class fish, the last name was by default fish. So here the last name is shark. The skeleton by default in the base class is bone, but here it is cartilage. And for sharks, the eyelids by default become Boolean true, whereas in the base class it was false. So I need to create another constructor method which overrides the inherited constructor method of fish. And also the swim backwards method, the print statement is different. The fish so and so can't swim. It sinks and swims back. Okay. So again, the inherited method swim backwards is overridden by the swim backwards method present inside the shark class itself. Now I compile this class and then I create the object, shark object, and then I see that indeed the attributes are different. The swim method remains same, the swim backwards has changed, the attribute skeleton last name has changed. I haven't invoked the attribute eyelids, otherwise you would have seen that that also has changed. So this is called as overriding the parent methods and attributes by the child class. Clear? Are you clear? Can you try this, please, and confirm whether you also have the same output? Please confirm it. Till you try it, there's no way you're going to understand it. Do this, please, and I will show you one more meme. Hmm. 2 minutes quickly. 2 more minutes. Please finish it off. Okay, good then. I assume you have tried it and you're conversant with the topic. So here's one meme from inheritance. Look at it and have a and try to, while you laugh with it, can also try to correlate with what we read just now. Okay, so good. Now, one more thing. Okay, so we saw two scenarios of inheritance till now, right? One is which a parent class completely inheritance from a child class. Second is a parent class inheritance from a inheritance from a parent class, but it overrides some of the attributes and methods by its own attribute and method. Now, we will see a third scenario in which the child class overrides the attributes, but only partially. Okay, so now we come to the third scenario. So there is a class, we are defining a class called trout, which is inheriting from the parent class fish. And we are creating its own constructor method. What are we doing here? We are introducing an attribute called water because trouts live in river, unlike the other fishes. So we are inheriting attributes from the fish class, but we are introducing a new attribute called water. Then we initialize this water attribute And now do we do the rest of the attributes? We are invoking the constructor method of the parent class fish by calling an inbuilt function called super. So super basically is a function, inbuilt function. Sorry, sorry about that. Which can be used to call the parent class functions. Okay. So with super now, we are calling the init method of the fish class. And look, I'm passing the first name attribute to this init method to set it for the fish class. Now, if I create this class, out of it, create the object, and then see, create and invoke the first name, Nemo. I invoke the attribute water. I can invoke the other attributes like last name, etc., etc. Do you see it? So super. So this is an example of partial inheritance. Partially, you're overriding the parent method, but only partially. On the same lines, I will quickly tell you about something called as multi-inheritance. Till now, you saw a single parent-child concept. Now comes the concept of multiple parents. So there are two classes called coral and anemone. Look at them. Coral has a method called community. Anemone has two methods called print clownfish and community. And then there's a third class called coral reef, which is inheriting from both anemone and coral. Okay. Now, if I don't do anything here, okay, by the way, over here, coral and anemone, and then I say simply say pass within the coral reef means directly inherit from anemone and coral. Now I create these classes and then I say what I create an object called coral reef. I invoke the method called community. Now tell me, what do you think will be the output of the community? Look, it's common to both coral and community. So which coral and anemones? I'm so sorry. So which method do you think will be invoked? Which method do you think will be invoked? Come on, give me a smart guess. Okay, what am I saying is that there are two classes called coral and anemone, and the third class coral reef, which inherits from both anemone as well as coral. Okay, so I am saying that when you create the object coral reef, which is the object of class coral underscore reef, and I invoke the community method, which community method, whether the one from coral or the one from community, which one will be invoked? No, not both. Not coral. Yes, correct. Good, Harsh. I guess the first class. Right. So the over here, the first class, the first parents method will be invoked. Because what happens is there's something called as a MRO, a method resolution order series, which defines in which order a class inherits. Okay, so if you see here, the coral reef method first will have priority given to coral reef class, any methods within it. Okay, if suppose there had been a community defined inside the coral reef, that would have got priority. But after the method, after the object itself, coral reef itself, next gets anemone. Anemone classes methods get preference because anemone is at the beginning, left. See, first argument, then the coral. Got it? So this is how MRO shows you method resolution order, in which order classes methods are inherited. Please remember this. You might get a question out of it. Okay. So I think I will stop here today. Okay, there are two more methods, classes, functions I will show you quickly. Yeah, there's one called is subclass and is instance. So is subclass, if you use this function, you pass the object name and the class name, child class name, and the parent class name. Then you will get a Boolean true or false depending on whether the class that you are specifying is a child of the second class or the parent class that you want to analyze. If it is true, true, otherwise it returns false. Is instance, it checks whether the particular object is an instance of the particular class. Again, a true and false. Okay. So these are two very important built-in functions. Okay. So if I give you a short program, suppose you are asking the user to, suppose you have a list of objects. Okay, look at this program. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Then 1.00 and 10. And then suppose 20. Now, of this list of items, you have to find out all those items which had integer numbers and put it inside a new list saying the integers. Okay, integer objects. Int objects list is equal to something like this, 10, 20. Okay, can you write a program? Use list comprehension. Think through. I've just now taught you the is instance function that will help you. And list comprehension you know already, so please think through. I'm giving you the writing down the question for you here. Create a list object as follows. Write a list comprehension to create a new list with only the integer objects of A. Okay. Okay, Vrishali, hold on. I'm in the middle of something. Please hold on. Concentrate on it right now, what I'm showing you. Don't let your focus waver. Don't panic, it will work. Good, Jayant. Not comma. Check your syntax. This will not work. The instance is wrong, but your approach is correct. Yeah, the instance is as in the syntax is wrong, but the approach is correct. Good. All of you, please try. Meanwhile, I will see. I will also code along with you. Manjunatha, don't use the type. I said just now, use the is instance. With the type, anyway, you will get an error. It doesn't come in that way. The output becomes class int. Is it working for you? Good, Rishikesh. Very good. Yeah, correct. So yes, many of you are giving me correct answers. This is what I asked you to do. Okay, very simple. Okay. Right. So I bring the class to a closure today. Tomorrow we will take up, we will finish, we have done inheritance. So tomorrow we will take up what we will have topics for 17. Tomorrow is the last class. We will see, we will do polymorphism. Two is private and public variables and methods. And we will have a quick look at special methods. Special methods. Once this is done and we have time, we will take a use case program to wrap up. Okay. Topics for 17th August 23. I'm not giving you any homework today because I hope you will work on it. Attendance link has been shared. Amar, please share again with them the attendance link. Okay, Vrushali, what is your problem? Class M, PA. No, but you don't have any actually attributes here, no, Vrushali. You see, the fallacy is that you're trying to inherit something from the method of class A. Super is being used to inherit the attributes from the parent class. Got it? That's why super is not working. Okay. Any questions for me? I think we can take 5 minutes extension and then wrap up. Any questions for me or Amar? I'm just stopping my screen share, everybody, huh? What about inheriting from a side? Yes, Manjunatha, it's possible. It can go till n levels. So all the levels keeps on coming. So it's like a staircase scenario. You can try till 2 or 3 levels, but it's not a very good idea. Suppose 100th level, it doesn't make sense. You shouldn't be in a situation where you have to create 100 levels of exceptions of base class and parent child classes. So you will have to reload actually in such cases. You will have to recompile. Adding attributes, your question does adding attributes to base class, also adds attribute to child class. You will have to recompile the child class. Okay. Thank you, Gauri. Thank you very much. Did you like the class today? Did you think it was important for you? Did you understand it? Did you enjoy it? Over and above, did you enjoy it? Yes, you can leave, Tushar. Those of you who don't have any questions, definitely you can leave, please. Okay. Thank you so much for being a part of this class. Okay, thank you, Harsh. Thank you, Siri. Yeah, we'll wait for a few more moments. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Khatija. Okay. Amar, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, guys, any question from me? Attendance, I already shared that. So, please mark your attendance and give your valuable feedback as well.
Those of you who are in YouTube, please like the videos. Please subscribe to our channels as well. Our channels, but the channel, yeah. Okay.
Rishikesh, can you elaborate your question? I didn't get you. Will be there any assessment test after the completion of the class? So, guys, there is no any assessment, but you have assignment to practice.
Okay.
Is very thank you. Okay, guys, I think you don't have any question. So we'll wind up for the day.
Yeah.
We'll meet you on tomorrow at same time.